2011 Ultimate Builder Custom Bike Show in Washington, D.C. We're talking to Frank Rutigliano of Two Wheel Mafia, LLC. Frank, take a moment and tell me about your background.
I got 6 years of art school behind me. That's where I get a lot of my ideas from. I pull a lot of drawing and from my art background to come up with a lot of my designs. Been building for about 4 years now. This is my third build on this bike. Took a lot of mistakes that I've made along the way and kind of incorporated them and fixed them along the way. And each build that you do, the overall design gets better and better and better. I don't do this full time. I do this out of my garage at my townhouse, and hopefully one day a hobby will be a full-time gig.
What were you trying to accomplish with this build, other than getting better?
I tried to accomplish combining rideability with a lot of old school style. The bobber phrase is really hot right now, and a lot of the manufacturers are really trying to come out with choppers and bobbers because that's what everybody wants. But with this, you get really the old school classic. We start off with an older motor. This is a 1984 Yamaha XS650. It's an inline twin, which you don't see a lot of anymore. Really popular, made by Triumph and Norton's. And by starting with the old motor, you could definitely build an old school style bike that really catches the eyes of the older generations. And I mean, every now and then you'll catch a younger guy staring at it. But a lot of the older guys grew up with this style bike stock. So when they see it and what I've done to it, they're kind of really impressed by it.
Let's talk on the fabrication on this. Let's talk about the frame.
It's a one-off frame designed by me but built by the GS Motor Company out of Michigan. We met them at the Smokeout one year, and I kind of told them what I was looking for, and we came out with that frame. A lot of guys will cut the frame in half and put the hardtail on, but I wanted to do it the hard way, and we did a whole frame from scratch. It gives it a more solid, more
better integrated.
It's a lot more better integrated. If you're going to design a bike from scratch, a lot of the hardtail frames, you get a lot of the cookie cutter, same style kind of a bike out of it. But when you start with a frame that you design, you can really have a lot more fun and really design the bike overall.
Particularly if you're designing it for one specific motor. That way, if you're designing it for one particular type of motor, then that fits perfectly in that frame.
Yes, yeah. The frame was designed to take the 650 motor, so it fit right in there, no problem. But you gotta, the overall layout of the bike is still. I didn't want to rake it out. I didn't want the fat tire. The frame really accents the overall old schoolness of the style.
So you've carried the hot rod look from the 50s and 60s.
Exactly.
Yeah. The front end, what did you do on that?
Front end is basically stock. There's nothing really done with the front end at all. We took the forks apart and I just powder coated them to match the bike. But overall, it's a stock Yamaha front end with a stock rake.
And then the rear end is basically the stock wheel with the drum brake on it?
The rims front and back are the stock rims off the original Yamaha. The rims, the laces were cut off. The rims were sandblasted and repowder coated, and then we relaced them with the original pattern. The pattern of the spokes attracts a lot of attention because you don't see that a lot.
Yeah.
But Yamaha laced that pattern for 1 year and 1 year only, and the spokes get a lot of attention. To lace your wheel for the very first time, that is not the pattern you want to learn on.
Yeah, but you're good now.
Hey, I'm good, but I'll probably never do it again.
Let's talk about paint. Where do we go on paint?
Paint? Smokey and the Bandit said it right. Black is beautiful. And everyone I've built so far has been black.
What brand of paint is that?
It's actually a House of Color Black. Jay Danner Designs, one of the guys that works with me in my full-time job, kind of does a painting on the side. He's got 30 years of paint behind him. He painted everything. The pinstriping done was by Razor Graphics in Fredericksburg, Virginia. The overall paint has a silver metallic inlay in some of the pattern,
right,
which I'm sure you'll
we can see
get up on. Fender-wise, they were both bought as a blank fender. With the good old Dremel, we like to cut them out by hand so I could do my own little pattern in them. We cut the front out, we cut the rear out.
What companies were instrumental in getting the bike finished for you?
We'll start with paint with Jay Danner Designs. All my chrome was done by Classic Components out of Santa Ana, California. The Cycle Center Yamaha shop in Culpeper, Virginia. One of the guys who has a full-time job there who kind of works with me on the side doing these, Robert Haynes, who actually passed away a few weeks back. He rebuilt the motor for me, and he did all the wiring. A lot of the 650 parts can be found at mikesxs.com. GS, like I said, GS Motor Company made the frame. But a lot of it's done in-house by me.
If somebody'd like to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
You can either reach me at www.twowheelmafia.com, and my personal email address is frankr@twowheelmafia.com.
Now that's two wheel. Is that TWO or the numeral 2?
TWO.
Wheel.com.
Wheel.com.
Frank, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You have a great day.